Great.
Hi, I'm Bobbi Jones with Bloomz, the Director of Customer Success, and I'm here with Shanae. We are discussing more about behavior within Bloomz, how it's used, different ways that teachers can use it, and really setting up and utilizing the feature to the best ability of your classroom. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can go ahead and look together at what the behavior portion looks like for Bloomz. I'm looking in a demo account right now, and I want to just poke around and look at our behavior together. And I enjoy our discussion. So Shanae, go ahead, and if you have any comments as well, I'm going to pop into our behavior right here from a teacher's point of view. So I went to my classroom and I'm going to my behavior area. Behavior typically is used to reinforce positive behaviors within the classroom, so we effectively get more positive behaviors with our tracking and our reward system for students. Now, that's not all that we can do with this. We can really track to see how things are going in a positive direction and maybe some challenges that you're having within the classroom as well. When I click on a student, I can see that I have the ability to look at some reward type points as well as need work points. And we have the ability to look at some flags. Now, all of these are customizable as well. So there's lots of different things we can do with the behavior. And sometimes maybe looking at a different direction as maybe activities or classroom management kind of things, not specific to a student's abilities or a student's lack of abilities, just rewarding in different ways. I've even thought of doing some behaviors with teams. If we look at teams, we can build in different rewards to allow for, let's say, a book club. So we are having a contest in a class where we're going to get books read, and the most books read by each student, they get some reward at the end. So we can always develop and add custom rewards for effectiveness in our class. So super easy to add those rewards and those points to it. Any ideas, Shanae, or any comments you have on different things that you might use for these type of rewards?
Not at the moment.
Okay. You can also, when you're looking at a specific student, when we go in and we click on a student, we can do multiple rewards at a time. So if I want to give that student 3 different types of rewards, I can go ahead and click those and click next and save. And that student has grabbed multiple points for the time or the activities that they've done in their classroom. If I click on the student's name, there's all these settings about the rewards as well, with removing from the class, editing the award types, redeeming the rewards, purging the points, adding the parents, editing students, messaging the parents directly from here as well. So we have a lot of options with our reward settings. You can also find the settings up in the corner, and this shows us different themes within the behavior. So I can go in and customize my themes that students will see as they're utilizing their point system, and editing the reward types again, resetting at the end of the day, how do I want to display these points? And the title size, you can actually do that. Parent access, and then sounds with the points. So you can turn these off so that we're not getting that act of confirmation with the noise, or you can turn them on in order for students to know that positive points are going around the classroom. So we have lots of ability, as well as a whole class point system up at the top, where these students are working towards extra recess. So a lot of different ways that we can get students to really utilize and do what's expected in the class or gain these points, behavior points for a reward in the classroom, like a pizza day or an extra recess or more reading time, etc. All those things that you usually do with point systems in your classes. You just have the availability on your phone to really monitor this and just click on a student, click on a reward, and activate that reward for that student right away. I wanted to show you really quickly as I'm sharing my screen. When we added the behavior for Bloomz, there is a wealth of information in here with teachers getting started using behavior in Bloomz. And it goes through a ton of setup, using behavior with a class, advanced behavior settings, additional classroom incentive tools, viewing behavior timelines and reports, and managing points in a classroom. There is a lot to the behavior portion that can be very effective in your classroom with how you use it, how you determine to use those point systems to reinforce the behavior or reinforce the activity that you're setting up. As I've shown before in multiple webinars, we have many videos that are in the teacher area for you to access in order to understand the Bloomz features even better. This one right here, beginning with behavior, is one that we're going to watch for during this webinar to learn more about editing the awards, easy tips on using it in the classroom, recommendations, parent and student experience for reviewing the behavior, and viewing students' timelines. I'm going to go ahead and begin watching this. And please, if you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A and we'll get back to those when we begin.
You can use the behavior management tracking in Bloomz to recognize and reinforce positive behavior with students, as well as track and communicate student behaviors that need work in order to motivate more positive choices in the classroom. This video tutorial will walk through how easy it is to use behavior in your classroom, as well as share about more advanced tools that are available with behavior. Before you start using behavior, you will need to make sure that this is enabled and that your student roster is up to date.
First, click into your class and click the Settings toolbar. Remember on the mobile devices that this tool icon is inside the cover photo of your class. Make sure the behavior is toggled on and click Done to save. Next, you will want to ensure that your student roster is up to date. Click the Behavior tab on your class. You might already see students populated here if you're using Bloomz for Schools Premium and your administration has added the students already. You can also add students by clicking +Add. Type in a name to add an individual student, or click Paste multiple names to copy and paste and add your entire student list at once. Click Done to save. First, we will walk through what it looks like to use behavior in your class as a daily routine. On your mobile or desktop Bloomz, you can click the Behavior tab. When you need to award a student for a positive choice, click on the student's avatar. Add notes or location and select the behavior you would like to award. If a student's negative behavior needs tracked, click on the student, click the Needs Work tab, add notes if necessary, and click the appropriate icon. You can even give multiple awards to a student at one time. When you click on a student's avatar, toggle the Multiple field on in the bottom left corner. Then select your awards or behaviors and click Next. Add any notes and click Done. If you would like to award points to the entire class at one time, simply click the entire class icon. Keep in mind that this will award points to all students, even if they're absent that day. So if you use this often, you will most likely want to track attendance by clicking Attendance in the app. And make sure the students who are present receive those awards. There is also an option to select multiple students at a time. Click Select and either select all and deselect students, or click on the students who've earned an award. Lastly, you do have the ability to add awards for previous days and times. This might come in handy if you have a substitute teacher and would like to add their notes into Bloomz. Just make sure to change the date and time before giving the award. When you're using behavior in your classroom, you might want to project this on a larger screen for your students to see and be excited about. Simply click the full screen if you want to display this from the desktop. Now that you are ready to use behavior in your classroom, you will likely want to take a look at some of the advanced settings to customize this for your class. In the Behavior tab, click the Settings link. You might have to click More to view this. You can first set a theme for your class. The blossoming flowers and mystery monsters gamify the experience for students. You can set milestones or point goals for the students, and as they reach them, the flowers blossom and the monster hatches. The student avatars is available if you don't want milestones or goals. Lastly, the middle school mode just displays the student profile pictures or avatars. By clicking Edit Award Types, you are also able to customize, edit, and delete award icons. Click on an award to edit the points, title, or picture, or even delete the award. You can also add new awards for your class. If your school is using school-wide behavior, this screen could look a little different. You might see community awards, which are not able to be edited or deleted because these are standardized across the building. Some building administrators do allow you to add your own classroom custom awards. So talk to your administrator if you're interested in this. If you are using the Blossoming Flower, Mystery Monsters, or Middle School mode for your theme, you can also define the point goal for students to get to reach a milestone in the class. You can set how you want the behavior on Bloomz to be once the student reaches that milestone. Do you want the points to reset back to 0 after hitting the milestone, reset automatically after an amount of time, or not reset? If you are displaying your screen in the classroom, you will want to specify how you want these points displayed on the tiles. Combined total shows the balance of points the student has. Separate total displays the good job and needs work points on separate lines, or you could choose not to display them on the tile. You can also define the order you'd like the student's tile to be in and the size of the tiles. This is helpful especially for larger classes. Decide on how and what you would like your parents to see. You can choose to only display positive points, negative points, or milestones, or a combination of these. You can even define if you want all parents to see this or only certain parents. If you are showing to parents, decide on if you would like to send a notification or daily summary to them. Otherwise, they can always click into their student's timeline to view. When you award a student, you will hear a sound. You can always turn these sounds off by toggling the off button under Sound. You might also notice in your account that Bloomz now offers flags in the behavior management tool. These flags notify the teacher and/or administrators of really superb behavior trends or behavior that needs more immediate attention. You can click into Settings and edit award types to view, edit, or delete flags for your classroom. When you create or edit a flag, you can edit the name of the flag, change the color, and even decide whether this flag will appear automatically when a student reaches a certain point threshold, or if you would like this to only appear when you or your staff member in the class manually adds it to the student's profile. You can also decide when these flags reset. Click Save. If you are using Bloomz for Schools school-wide behavior, you might notice that the administrators set standardized flags in order to receive alerts and reports of these flags at a larger administration level. Some administrators will allow you to create custom class flags as well. Talk to your administrator if you are interested in this. Within the class, Bloomz offers several tools to help motivate students to make positive choices in the classroom. One tool teachers can use is the class goal. By clicking Class Goal, teachers can set a collective point goal for the entire class to reach in order to earn a class-wide incentive. This can support peer cooperation and encouragement. When the class goal is reached, if you have this screen projected, the students will see a shout out for this accomplishment. Teachers can also share this accomplishment with parents by clicking Share with Parents. They can also remove this class milestone from the behavior feed view when needed. Setting milestones for your students can help them receive feedback for their positive behavior in manageable chunks. If you can remember, when clicking into settings, there were certain themes, blossoming flowers, mystery monsters, and middle school theme, that allowed teachers to set a point goal or a student milestone. When students reached that goal or milestone, if the screen was projected, Bloomz automatically shares a shout out to that student. This milestone is also shared with parents if the setting allows. Using teams in the classroom can also encourage teamwork, cooperation, and collaboration amongst the students. To switch the view to teams rather than individual students, click Teams at the top of the behavior menu. During class, you can click full screen to project this to the class. At any point, you can still award individual students within the teams, but teams can also earn awards collectively. To create a team, click the plus Add Team. Enter a team name, choose members for the team, and click Save. Keep in mind that students can be members of multiple teams if needed, so you can essentially have teams for tables or different subjects if needed. Bloomz will share if the student is on a team already in this list. If you need to edit or remove a team, just click the Edit option in the top right corner when you have the team opened. You can view the student's detailed timeline for behavior, or you can view the summary report at any time. To view a student's timeline, click the name. Select Student Timeline. On the Behavior tab, you will see some overall summary charts of good and needs work behavior, as well as a classroom summary. This summary will show you how the student performed in that classroom. The top line shows the cumulative points earned. The second line shows the point balance after any points that were earned have been redeemed. The third is the amount of points redeemed in the class, followed by the goals that were accomplished. And there's a breakdown of both good job awards and needs work that were tracked in the classroom. Any lines that are underlined can be clicked into for further detail. If a school is using school-wide behavior, or PBIS, the teacher might also see a column labeled Student Summary on this timeline. This shows how the student is doing across all of the classes and subjects he or she is a part of at the school. A teacher could also click into these links to view by classroom how the student is doing in other classes and areas of the school. To view or print behavior reports from a class view, click the More and Report link at the top of the page. You can view by Show All for the entire year, or select a date range. You can sort these reports by clicking the By First Name link in the top right corner. By default, these reports are sorted by first name. These reports show a quick visual of how the student is doing. On the right of each card is a summary. You can click into the student's name to see the more detailed timeline. If you are using a token economy system in your classroom or managing points system in your classroom for students to earn incentives or prizes for good behavior, you can easily redeem and/or purge points at a student or a whole class level. Click a student's name to redeem behavior points. Click Redeem Points. You will notice the available points to redeem shows. Enter the amount of points the student is redeeming and click Redeem. Once complete, you will notice on the student timeline that this is recorded and that the point balance is updated. If you need to completely delete or purge points for a student, click on the student's name and select Purge Points. This will completely erase the points and the history of those awards in the class, so keep this in mind when purging. You can also purge the entire class's points by clicking Entire Class, select Options, and Purge. Lastly, if possible, using behavior management in real time in your classroom is very easy on a mobile device. So Bloomz encourages you to have the app downloaded and handy on your mobile device or phone. There are also other features on the app which help keep your students attentive, including a random selector. On the app, you'll notice a double arrow icon on the top right corner. When you click this, it randomly selects a student's avatar.